Hi everyone, it's Erica at Artisans, and I'm here with Khaki Kalasa. She is the owner of Paws for a Cause, and welcome to Shoppe Chats. Thank you, Khaki, for taking the time to do this interview with me.
Certainly.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about some of the items that we have, or a little bit about your shop?
Sure. I am a potter. I do functional pottery. I've done pottery for probably 6 years off and on. My husband was in the military, so as we moved, I would try to locate a pottery studio. Sometimes I failed miserably, so I had to take some time off, but probably a total of 6 years. And I do functional pottery, which means things that you can use in and around your home. So I tend not to do the sculptures and stuff, although like at Christmas time, I'll do nativity sets. But yeah, so these are all samples of some of my pottery that I do.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
And so what was the inspiration behind starting Paws for a Cause, or is there a reason you chose to do pottery?
Yes, there is. And so, being in the military, we moved here 2 years ago from Maine. And when we were in Maine, my sister is there, and she has a nonprofit. So I started doing pottery in Maine. And anything that I did, I could donate to her, and she could sell for profit.
Nice.
So it went directly to benefit her.
Yeah.
Then of course we picked up and we moved to North Carolina. And it's really hard to ship pottery without it getting broken. So I thought, well, shoot, if I can create a shop and sell the pottery, then all I have to do is send her a check. And so that's what I do. So I can do the pottery, which happens to be my passion. And then all of the money, I don't take out any of my expenses because I love doing it. So all of the money that I receive goes to my sister's nonprofit up in Maine, and I can just write her a check as opposed to hoping that the mail gets it there safely. So
nice.
Yeah.
And so you did mention you've done it for 6 years. Is that how long you've been in the pottery industry?
Yeah, off and on. I probably started 15 years ago in San Antonio. But then, like I said, we were 5 years in California, and I, didn't do it then. And we moved to Maine, and it took me, a couple of years in Maine before I did it. So altogether, probably 6 years.
Wow. Okay. Nice.
Off and on, 15 years total, but off and on 6 years.
Cool. Nice. Yeah. And I see that you've been at Artisans for about 2 years now.
Yeah.
What do you like about Artisans?
Oh, I love the eclectic nature of the shop. I love to browse the variety, and I love the music. And
I know, sometimes I'm just like jamming to the
I am too, and I can hear people singing in different aisles. I love the people that work at Artisans. I love being greeted when you walk in the door. And Susan's always at her desk with a wave. So I have really enjoyed being at Artisans, and I like the ability that Susan has given me to kind of work with her. I started off in one location and one type of a store, and then I shuffled around, and finally I'm in a really nice location, and and I really like it.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you enjoy it.
Yes, thank you.
And so what are some of your best-selling items, or what are some of your personal favorites?
Well, unfortunately, I don't have any right now, but probably my best-selling items are my mugs.
I've seen those.
Yes.
They're nice.
Yes, they're kind of fun. Sometimes I'll put a heart, similar to this, on the outside of it. Sometimes a fish. But I don't have any in the display today, simply because I don't have any. It takes a long time.
They're all selling.
Yeah, well, yes. And it does take a long time to get pottery from mud, clay, essentially, to the finished product. So I do have some mugs in the sequence, but they're not out yet. So I've just started doing wine glasses. I'm hoping the wine glasses sell well. I don't know. Some of my pictures have sold well. It just kind of depends, I think, on the season. The lamps have not sold, although I must say I have these scattered around my home, and I love my lamps.
They are.
So,
they're beautiful.
That's kind of a fun, a fun thing to have in your house, I guess.
Nice. And so you were speaking earlier about your sister's nonprofit and how all your profits go to her. Can you tell us more about her charity?
Yes, I would love to. And I will give you a link to it if there's any way you can put that on there.
Yeah, I'll add that in the description, guys.
Okay, great. It's called In Along the Way, INN Along the Way. It's located in Damerscotta, Maine, which is mid-coast Maine. And it is a place where the elderly can, the elderly, especially those that are isolated, don't have family around or don't have friends around that are ailing, they can go and live there on a sliding scale. So if they can't afford it, they don't pay. And they can spend the rest of their years on the earth, their time on the earth, in community and
nice.
with purpose and with dignity. So Maine is a very aging, probably an ailing too, but a very, very much an aging state. So my sister has a passion for the elderly and just wants them to, you know, not die in their bedroom alone.
Right.
Which tends to happen, I think, a lot to elderly.
Unfortunately.
So, yes. So I am helping her with my
That's so
sales.
nice. Yeah. What is one of your most proudest business moments?
Oh my goodness. That's a great question. Let me think. Well, I love it when I am stocking my shelf here at Artisans and a customer stops and talks to me about, and that has happened just within the last couple of weeks here. And so I was able to explain to them, as I am to you, about what I do and why I do it and how I do it. So certainly I was proud of that. And certainly my sister, now granted she's my sister and she has to, but she calls and says, we are completely out of your pottery. We need more pottery, which means I have to drive up there.
Right.
Or, so people up there like to buy my pottery. So.
Nice.
Yeah.
And what is the best advice you've ever received? Business or non-business related?
Let me think. Well, I'll stick to the business related because otherwise we will go way off on a tangent. It'll be a whole different conversation. It will be a whole different conversation advice-wise. But I will say Susan, the owner here, has given me good advice about the display. She is very conscientious and very focused on how her shop looks, and if my display is not looking good, or if she feels like it could use improvement, then she will talk to me about that. And I like that. Because I am not a merchandiser, I'm not a marketer, and so for her to come, take something or tweak my display a little bit or send me a little note, it's that's good. I like that. I think that's I think that's beneficial for me because I'm not a merchandiser.
Right.
So.
Nice. Is there anything in your career that made a big impact on you?
Oh my goodness. Well, first of all, this is more of a hobby than a career. And I do love it. Let me think. Probably, at least since I've been in North Carolina, I have been doing pottery over at Greenville Arts and Crafts at the JC Park. And we have such a great community of potters. I have a wheel at home, so I can throw all of this stuff at home. But then I don't have a kiln, so I have to bring it over to JC Park. And they have a beautiful studio with a wonderful community of people. So so I think that has encouraged me maybe to continue, especially through COVID, when people were isolated. They stayed open during COVID, but limited the number of people that were allowed in the facility. So, and we moved here during COVID. So so that kind of helped me continue my hobby or business, as you put it, through COVID. Through that community. There's such a great community over there.
That's good to have a good community.
Oh my gosh.
A small group of people who,
it's wonderful.
Especially during COVID,
Especially during COVID. Yep. And allowed me to get out of the house and yet still stay safe.
And do you have any advice for anyone who might want to start their own small business or small hobby or anything like that?
Yes, I would say if you want to do a hobby similar to this, I, being in the military, as long as my husband and I have been in the military, I don't want to accrue stuff. So having a shop such as this, having a venue to sell, whether it's on Etsy, which unfortunately you'd have to mail, or here at Artisans, it's a wonderful way to reach the public and yet let all the business stuff be done by Artisans. So I guess my advice would be, if you have a hobby and a passion, in order to pursue it and not accumulate too much stuff, find a venue to sell it.
Yeah,
So,
nice.
Yeah.
And with fall approaching, is there any new merchandise that we could look forward to besides your new wine glasses?
Yes, exactly. So certainly I will continue to do the wine glasses because I really like them. I think they're a lot of fun.
Yeah, they are beautiful.
Thank you. And I will be doing holiday stuff. So I think I had mentioned earlier that so these are all done on a wheel. So they're all centered and they're all circular based.
Yeah.
But another method to pottery is to hand build.
Okay.
So you take a slab or you roll out the clay and you can build things. And so so during the holiday I like to do a lot of hand built nativity sets. And so I will be doing some of those and some hand built Christmas trees with holes in them to illuminate light through.
Oh, that'd be really pretty. I look forward to those.
Yes, so hopefully during the holiday season, the fall, as we're approaching the holiday season, yes, look for some holiday.
You guys heard that. So make sure you guys check out Paws for a Cause. Make sure you check out all their new merchandise. Yes. Well, thank you, Kaki, for taking the time
Erica.
to do this interview with me.
Yeah,
I really appreciate you coming over.
Thank you.
And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this interview. Make sure you stay tuned for the next Shop Chats. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.